You have seen the recent protest against this Agneepath Yojana that the government launched recently for the recruitment in the military. There was a protest across the country, actually. The opposition parties also added fuel to the fire by spreading misinformation. Now we are going to look here what were the myths and what were the facts actually. So I counter each myth with facts. Listen to me sincerely. The very first myth was this Agnipath scheme will lead to reduced opportunity for youths. So they felt there would be less vacancy in future for soldiers actually. The fact is that the opportunities in armed forces will go up 3 times in the coming years. The second was at the age of 21 years, the youths are immature. They will be unreliable to the army, navy or air force, wherever they go. The fact is that the government has planned this very sincerely and in a detailed manner. There will never be more youths than the experienced person in the military. The youths will be controlled by the experienced professionals in the military. The third one, the future of Agniveers is insecure. This was the primary pain point of the protesters because they thought their future should be spoiled. So in 4 years, they will be coming out of military and they won't have anything. There will be no pension, nothing. Look at the facts now. After coming out of military, the Agniveers will get priority in CAPF, the state police force, and several government organizations, PSUs, including private sector. Only if you look at the state police forces, the required police force strength that is required in the country, that is 2.81 million. Whereas the current strength of the police force is 1.8 million only. So there is a shortfall of 1 million there only. Now many organizations, the government has added clause and many organizations have offered to the Agniveers 10% quota. So there will be a reservation for Agniveers. And with so many PSUs, so many ministries, the 10% will become a big number actually. So there will be so many vacancies for the Agniveers. And additionally, the Agniveers will also get a 12 class certificate and the bridging courses that they require to work in private sector or in any other job. So as per the requirement, it will be done. The banks has also announced a financial package for them. The bank will offer loan to them on lower interest rate. So where is the insecurity? Now the fifth myth. No consultation was done with formal armed forces officers. Now I'll tell you, the work on this scheme is going on since 1989. So from 1989, under different governments, different committees were formed, and all the committees recommended that we need a military force that is youthful and very active. So current average age of the military officer is 32 years, where all the committees recommended a lower average age for the military professionals. In the last 2 years, the many consultations have been done extensively with various armed force officers. and all the officers require the advantages of this scheme. This scheme, this proposal was framed by the Department of Military Officers, which was formed by the government. So the extensive consultation has been done, and since 1989, so many governments have came in power actually. So this is not a very new thing. Now the sixth one, the Agnipath will harm the effectiveness of the armed forces. The fact is that a scheme like this is prevalent in nearly 30 countries across the world. And many countries have realized what are the benefits of this scheme. Agniveers will be tested before reintroduction into the army after 4 years and will be appointed as supervisors. And currently the vacancy of the Agniveers, is only 3% of the armed forces in the first year. Now the last myth, and that is ridiculous also. People think the Agniveers will pose a danger to society because they are the trained professional and they may become terrorists. So even before the introduction of this scheme, military personnel were retiring every year, and none of them became a terrorist. So when this doesn't happen earlier, how it will happen in future? So these are the facts. The protesters were totally misguided. They acted in a rage actually, and it was foolish of them actually, because the use of mobile phone is quite prevalent among the youth actually. And anybody could have gone a government site and would have learned what are these clauses of this scheme actually, and what is the government is offering. But I don't think hardly anyone has done that. If they would have done that, they would not have involved in the protest like this actually. Because due to this protest, because the government has not assessed what was the amount of loss the nation has actually incurred. But some sources say nearly 3,000 to 3,500 crore per day was lost to the economy. Indian Railway alone suffered a loss of nearly 1,000 crore. Nearly 12 trains will set on fire actually. But that has already happened. Was the youngsters. So whatever happened, that happened. So this is all for now actually. So if you have a different opinion, just write in the comment section, I'll reply to you. Thank you for your time. We'll meet in the next video. Thank you so much.